Peace, family. Big awareness energy. If you focus on healing, you do not want to miss it. Artificial love is okay with you being you.
Yeah.
Artificial love got something to say about everything that you do. When you do something that's real you that they don't align with, artificial love and they call you out, act funny, say you acting funny, say you switching up. They're finna do everything that they can to get you to go back.
Yeah, they're gonna try to just.
You know what I'm saying? Artificial love doesn't come with elevation. It's a place of where you think you're building patience, but you only procrastinate.
Spray my house with frankincense to start my day again. Today I had to disconnect from my low vibrating friend. Hey, spray my house with frankincense to start my day again. Hey, yeah. Tell me what part of receiving love make you hate a man.
Peace, 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 family. Big energy, you already know the vibes. Shadow Work Sundays where self-love is therapy. I am King Manifest.
Khalil, man, we here.
I say big energy.
Holding us to the Facebook family, man. It's the first time we on Facebook going live. You dig what I'm saying? So holding us to everybody that's over there tapping in, tuning in.
I say much gratitude, much gratitude.
I say hold us to the chat. Yeah.
Sir, you already know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? So this episode will actually be about the power of writing letters to self. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna tap in. Y'all already know how we do. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really letting, people get caught up on the Mercury retrograde, like their life is over and it's about being depressed and sad and all that. Now we alchemize and we still promote and push big energy. You know what I'm saying? I say. Let's go ahead and tap in. So I'm gonna start off with the root chakra bell. You know what I'm saying? For us to help us get grounded. You know what I'm saying? So at this time, like I said, if you do breath work, you can do that. I advise, you know what I'm saying, to do breath work. Yeah, let's get it. I say. So now we're going to get into the Rainbow Collective exercise. Like I say all the time, make sure that you are reading these affirmations at the same time, and looking at these colors. It is all affecting our subconscious, you know what I'm saying, and affecting our vibration. Let's get it.
See.
So let's get it, Kai. You know the vibes.
I say. All right, tribe. So we're gonna tap in with the hands today. You know what I'm saying? Put all the fingertips together and just create as much pressure as you can. Put as much pressure on the fingertips of your hands, of your fingers as you can. And then release the pressure and attempt to move your hands apart. It may feel like a magnet. That's a good thing. Push them back together, create that pressure. This is sending energy, stimulating energy all down your body, through your brain, through your hair, your antennas, your eyes, your neck, your sinuses, your spine, your thyroid, pineal gland, pituitary gland. Release the pressure and try to move it apart. One more time. Press it, press it, press it. Create that pressure. Move it apart. Now we're gonna clench our fist in. Stimulate more of that throat chakra energy because we tapping in writing today.
I say.
And then what we're gonna do, take our knuckles, stimulate this energy right here, this bottom part of your palm. Since we tapping into writing, obviously that's creating. So we want to be able to channel how we truly feel and understand the process of it. Because anything that you do, you're always constantly creating. You're going to take that energy up to the temples. Make sure you wrap around the front of the head as well, around the eyebrow. Back and forth. And then drop down to the heart space. Tap the thymus. Thymus gland. I say, man, we here.
I say. Big energy. So once again, at this time, y'all know this is a heart space platform. So we're gonna tap into the heart chakra singing bowl. Like I said, if you do breath work, like I said, do your little 1, 2, 3 count and just release, but whatever type of breath work that you do, always envision bringing in energy and releasing energy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so always look at it as that, and set your intention on what type of energy you're receiving and what type of energy you are releasing.
I see.
So let's get it. I say. Yes, sir. Once again, peace to the tribe, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the YouTube family. You already know, you know what I'm saying? Peace to the tribe, to the soul tribe in general. And then once again, peace to the Facebook family that's tapping in with us for the first time on Facebook. So once again, for those that just tapped in, this episode is about the power of writing letters to self. You know what I'm saying? I have many different perspectives coming in my head as I'm going into my notes, but first let's tap in right here.
Peace, family. Make sure during this episode, y'all are hitting that like button. Y'all also tapping in the comments, letting us know how y'all vibrating, asking any questions, and also share this live with one family member or one friend that you feel that it will help and that desires healing. Let's get it.
Tap in, family. Each form of, you know what I'm saying, energy expression is appreciated.
I say. And so we're gonna tap in a little different, and this is going to be an added segment as well. But before we move on, let's tap into this mudra. And this is literally how you do the mudra. You know, I feel like for me, I'm a type of person, I'm a visual person. You know what I'm saying? So having something visual to see versus me explaining it to you or Kyrie trying to tell y'all how to do it, this is the mudra. And so this mudra is actually almost like considered as like the 5 elements mudra. And so it helps you connect with the fire, the air, the water, the earth, and the sky. So connect with all these different elements and channel, was basically opening your channel. You know what I'm saying? And like me and Kai talked about behind the scenes, the only thing that they did miss in the book was plasma energy. It is also helping, you know, activate and helping you connect, you know what I'm saying, to that plasma energy. How can you connect to all these different aspects of nature and not connect, you know what I'm saying, to plasma energy? So
Can I tap in on this real quick and get my perspective?
let's get it.
So also this mudra, if y'all want to look it up, is called Vajra Pradama. And it means the mudra of unshakable self-confidence. The Sanskrit prefix Vajra means thunderbolt and mudra means gesture. So also the guy was talking about the plasma energy or the cosmic energy, right? Well, sometimes when certain aspects of your hands are left open during the mudra, that is allowing for the free flowing of that energy, and it being as though that your thumbs deal with cosmic energy or plasma energy, that is allowing that energy to flow in from one side of the body, interpenetrate through where your phalanges or your fingers are connected, and then flow out through the other aspect of the thumb, and then create that continuous cycle. You dig what I'm saying? But also, if you want to connect and hone in and ground that energy, you can do the same mudra, but just put your thumbs together.
I'll say. So throughout this episode, family, tap in with this mudra. It's very easy. It's very simple. This is something that you can do constantly. You know what I'm saying? Throughout your day, it's something that you can do here and there. You know how our bodies work is that once we start to do something, it becomes second nature.
That's deep. It kind of like the Kabbalah. The Kabbalistic tree.
Mm-hmm. I can agree. Yeah, so we're gonna tap in. And so y'all know this is pod class, not podcast, you dig? So let's tap into the etymology and the definition of writing.
I say. So writing is a body of poetry, a narrative, or a craft of writing. And most intrinsically, the etymology of the word writing, a system of human intercommunication by means of a conventional, visible mark. So that's very, very deep. You know what I'm saying? We communicate way more or way past just speaking, and let alone writing. Like even just writing something down, like we understand what it means just based off of the human language. But what do you think your subconscious mind is equating these E's and these L's and these M's to in symbology, which is helping you really channel the proper energy into what you're writing? Because even each syllable or each letter of a word has its own frequency of healing, frequency of shadow work, frequency of duality, so on and so forth. Every single thing in the entirety of creation all embodies. This is the download that I was just like tripping off of the other day, because I was talking with somebody and we was realizing that the 12 universal laws are even in the most smallest thing. Like when you hear law, right? Because we even talking about writing, like when you hear the word law, you think it just governs over the entirety of everything, but you would never think that source is that source with it to equate it to the most smallest thing. And you can even find like certain universal laws and things just like writing. You dig what I'm saying? So like understand, you know what I'm saying, the aspect of writing, and that when you are writing something and you're seeing these words or these letters form out, it's whole stories behind it. Even the word the, You know what I'm saying? You remember the episode of SpongeBob when he got the writing and he was going crazy and making it, you know what I'm saying? He was just drawing you know what I'm saying? But behind that, it's a very deep form of self-expression that we're gonna get into.
Yeah, and intention. You know what I'm saying?
I say.
So being that this when we're talking about writing and we're talking about releasing and being that aware, obviously we have to connect with our first eye. You know, our third eye. We have to tap into that part of us, you know what I'm saying? And flow and be in a flow aspect, you know what I'm saying, with our first eye, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna tap into third eye open real quick, you know what I'm saying, get the vibes right, get the frequency right, you know what I'm saying? Because even though this episode is going to be about certain things, you know, it's Shadow Work Sundays, it's going to be a very light and fun episode as well. We're gonna really, you know, break down some things. So you know, yeah, so let's get it.
Because that sun, and y'all should be getting as much of it as you possibly can get, because it is putting people online. Spend as much time in that sun as you possibly can. Eat the sun. Eat the sun.
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guy done been through enough, I would say. Energy different, the frequency change. My third eye is open, I don't see the same. I am not playing, I don't rap in the game. I am my affirmation manifest. I don't need the fame, I was born with the wealth. They ain't give me nothing, I got it myself. This is that dope and I'm rocking the scales. Channel energy from my life force. Tiger's eye, sunstone and clear course. Raise the vibration, what I'm here for. Connected with my solar plexus, I can feel the source. If I want it, then it's mine, that's a clear choice. Kundalini of the spine as the heat absorbs. Forget the phone with a spaceship and real stars. With a spaceship and real stars. One point in time, I ain't had vision. Then I had a vision. Came back with purpose on the mission. Cosmic energy, astrophysics. In line of my chakras, what a feeling.
But spend as much time out in that sun as you possibly can. Because it is transforming us.
My third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open, I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed to check like TSA. One in a million like Aaliyah say. My words come with feeling and you feel the bass. Set my intention, let it marinate. Yeah, the vibe dope and you get rid of weight. We come together, we need each other in a special way. Sun gazing, Pinot Glandy calcification. Sunbathing this neuromelanin activated. Daily affirmations of truth, no affidavit. Shadow work can be a big part of manifestation. Yeah, I don't want it if it's tainted. And I'm not here to be famous. Yeah, it's a lot that I came with. I did a lot of explaining. Yeah, and I talk it how I live it. You don't evolve, then you fall for anything you giving. I'm giving everything that I got and what I'm missing. I'm working on myself, can be my worst critic. Yeah, can be my third eye's open, I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't speak for y'all, but I'm rejoicing that.
Say.
Yeah, man. First of all, much gratitude to the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been streaming that record. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful. You know, that mug hit 20K just on YouTube. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, I'm grateful, and I'm gonna be cooking up something real special real soon. You know, just pertaining to that record. And yeah, I'm just grateful. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying?
I say, and definitely, man. Definitely.
And y'all hear it. I know what I'm saying. I can see past the commotion. You know what I'm saying? So that's the vibes we on. You know what I'm saying? We about to tap into writing. Peace, Mama. You know what I'm saying? Mama's in the chat. You know what I mean? Like I talk about all the time. This is a soul tribe. You know what I'm saying? We can't be a family without a mama. So much gratitude to Mama. You know what I'm saying? For taking out the time to tap in with us tonight. You know, yeah. You know, so let's get it. Podcast, not podcast. So a letter is a form of communication. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, right? And so anything we hold close to us that represents something impactful in our life is like a letter, right? They're all forms of communication. You see what I'm saying? So even though we're talking about writing, we gotta open our mind just a little bit and really speak about what a letter is and what the whole point of it is and why is it so powerful. It's powerful because of the communication aspect, and it's powerful because whatever communication has an energy signature. I'm sorry, that was so bad. That's that coffee. You know what I'm saying? I was coughing.
No, we're here, man. We're here.
So I almost forgot I was live. You know what I'm saying? But for real. But communication has an energy signature. You know what I'm saying? I did it again. You feel me? So we have to understand that. So whenever you say you have a memory of something, right? That is communication. That's communicating to your emotions, communicating to your subconscious. Or say, you know what I'm saying, when you smell, it's a certain smell, and it's just this smell make you feel some type of way. You see what I'm saying? These are all communication. So everything around us is a letter. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that things are communicating with us, but how are we communicating with the things around us? You see what I'm saying? And being more intentional with that aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Man, that's deep, bro. Because when you just said that, it made me connect some dots, right? So, you know, we've been talking about the human design thing, right? And one of the characteristics of my human design and how I collect information is by touch. And I know this consciously. I know I be telling myself, like, when I get a book, I just touch the book. Sometimes I don't even need to read the book to know what's in it, or, you know what I'm saying, talk about the information. I could just touch the book and the information just begins to flow. So when you was talking about having an object or something that's like meaningful to you and how that holds memory and how that's a form of a letter and writing to yourself, it made me really just ground myself and really appreciate what my mom has been doing since I was a child, which is taking pictures every time. Like, all she do is take pictures all day on her phone. Like, you could be, you know what I'm saying, digging up your nose, not even paying attention. She around the corner trying to take a picture of you, you know what I'm saying? But those little things like that, it really helped me to gain back memories of my childhood, because that's something I was struggling with. So this was probably a month ago. I'm at my mom's house and I'm touching the photo album, just looking through the pictures. And as you explaining this, it just made me realize how powerful these actual objects are, because they do have actual energetic signatures, especially things like pictures. You know, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words, you know what I'm saying? But what if you're activated and that picture begins to come alive as you're looking at it, and you get to begin to embody that whole memory or experience again? So even things like that are forms of self-expression and self-love. You dig what I'm saying? Like, for everybody in the chat, since now we all advanced in technology, we should be leaving video diaries for ourselves. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I will go back and watch some of my old videos on my YouTube channel, and when I first started my journey, and on my TikTok when I first started my journey and things like that.
All the time, bro.
Seeing the growth, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly, old songs and everything. So it's like it just grounds you, because you in this higher consciousness going back to look at something like that. You're analyzing it from a newer perspective now. So the downloads that you got in that current time while creating it is going to be completely different from now. You dig what I'm saying? So writing is, you got to be a more cosmic word for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, surely.
And just before we even, go in any deeper, we also spoke about, we talked about like doing like a video diary or things of that sort. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that in the sense of leaving messages to our family, and not intentional, but you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if you getting these downloads, right? And you putting these downloads in these videos, and you putting these, or in these books, you know, now generations after you, if they actually take this to have value, can actually, you know, assess and access this ancient wisdom that you have provided, you know what I'm saying, and that you tapped into. And so I think it's beautiful in that aspect too, that it's not just a reflection of us, but it's also a reflection of our reflections. You know what I'm saying? Like it can actually, you know, this can be a way to guide the tribe. You know, we got to keep in mind, right? So we talk about ancient kinmen and we talk about all these different times, but we got to understand the only reason why they started writing on the pyramids is because in history, basically our history got how can I explain this in the layman's terms? Basically, we were aware that the transferring of information was becoming slim, and that we were getting to a point where we were going to lose our history if we didn't start to write it somewhere and put it somewhere. So they actually started to put these information inside the pyramids and the hieroglyphics and the metal netrons to start to express and to put it here for us to still have this information today. So, you know, we have to use that same, you know what I mean?
Now, what's deep about that as well is in this movie Fast Colors, there's these three melanated goddesses. One is you know what I'm saying, it's basically the triple goddess, you know what I'm saying? So it's the grandmama, then it's the mama, then it's the daughter. And the grandmama and the mama, they have powers, and the daughter does too. But the mama, she lost her powers along the way because of emotional trauma and things like that. But the mama, or the grandmama, she kept her family's diary of all the times of all the women in her family that had this ability to see the colors, or literally dematerialize matter and materialize it back again. So as they were reading through it and things like that, you can see how they could connect to the emotion of them actually using their power to help them in their current reality remember how to use their power. So even in that same sense of writing things down for the family and generations to come, you dig what I'm saying? Just imagine if your great grandson was struggling with the same type of shadow work that you was. And you know what I'm saying, the information is there, he's conscious, but he really doesn't understand it from a perspective that he can receive. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't understand that, oh, I have an ancestor that's just like me that went through the same thing, so I can tap in with that, read that, and now download that
I want
information.
to ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Somebody might say, I think I'm crazy for this question. You know, yeah, but I'm gonna ask it. The question is, what do you think the Bible is made of?
What you mean?
What is the Bible made of? What makes the Bible? What is it full of? I would put it like that. What is the Bible full of?
A lot of things in my mind.
On the subject what we're talking about, I'm speaking about stories, people's stories, people's experiences with God. People, and these experiences and these stories became people's way of life. Right. So I'm saying, you get where I'm going with this?
You know that aligning with the perspective that aligns with what they're going through.
You know what I'm saying? And so technically, I say this all the time, we are living the new Bible. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Every day. The difference is we're not writing it down.
Facts.
That's the only thing that makes it not. We are living it. This is all prophetic. We're literally fulfilling prophecies right now. Every day that we wake up. You know what I'm saying?
That's even deep on that aspect, because when you're talking about fulfilling prophecies, my mind just went to the dream realm. And that's a lot of people like to equate, you know what I'm saying, certain precognitive dreams that they have as prophecy and things like that, which in turn it could be. You dig what I'm saying? Because some things do play out when you experience them in the astral realm, but it's more so because in certain aspects when those things play out, it's because you magnetize that from your inner reality, which is why you had that projection like movie of that dream in a precognitive sense. You dig what I'm saying? So even in that state of just being able to align with a story like that, and yeah, bro, that's just deep. That's just deep. Like the dream, even a dream space is a form where you can unconsciously create your own story for your own awareness, for your own love, for your own healing, for your own shadow work, whatever the case may be. Like your internal verse is always projecting writing to you. but like, are you open enough to receive it? You know what I'm saying? Like those chills down your back, or that ear ringing. You know what I'm saying? Or you may get that gut feeling, or that same bird keeps staring you in your eye. Like these
It's
are all
forms of communication.
Exactly.
I'll say family. You know what I'm saying? Big
Exactly.
energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, but looking at the concept, I like that the Bible was coming up because in the concept of they was writing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The reason why you can see the contradictions, why? Because they wrote the contradictions in there. You can see it. It's there. It's in writing. You see what I'm saying? Like,
that's deep. Cause like, if you see in the contradictions, that means you're seeing the shadow aspect of that person in that story. You know what I'm saying? So if you can equate that to the Bible and also look at that and create a story, write a same story, whatever the case may be, it could be a superhero story, whatever, you can potentially pay attention to your own ego characteristics within how you're creating that story. So you can kind of get very, very intentional and precise on when you're writing these letters to self, and sometimes let yourself get real mad, let yourself get real rambunctious, and just get that energy out so you can analyze it. So then now you can write another story on top of that to actually alchemize it.
See, the problem is that these parts of us, we're scared to let them project, reflect, exist. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to writing, we'll tend to write about something that is more, we'll actually use writing as a way to block this feeling and to block this expression versus using writing as a superpower to unlock this feeling and to, you know what I'm saying, to release it and to bring love and bring healing and bring balance to it. You know what I mean? So first question is, family, when is the last time you wrote a letter to yourself? And it doesn't have to be like a letter on paper, but I'm saying, like, when is the last time that you had a conversation with yourself about yourself? Because that is a letter. That is, you know what I'm saying? What do people say? Say somebody is a pen pal, they pen paling. What are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what they're doing. So when is the last time that you were a pen pal with self?
Yeah, that's deep.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, what's up?
I was just gonna say, because the vibe we've been on lately, I've been doing that a lot more and more in the shower. Like when I get in the shower and I'm just sitting there quiet, I have to muster up my own strength to talk to me. So I'll be like, why you quiet? This whole talk time, this flow state time. And then I'll be like, man, I don't feel like talking. Why don't you feel like talking? And literally walking myself through a conversation with myself to do shadow work for myself. You know what I'm saying? So
that's beautiful. You know why? Because I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful because first of all, it's duality. But secondly, that's why I talk about knowing thyself. How can you know thyself if you're not going through that process? If you're not, I call it the real walk. You know what I'm saying? When they say you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, it's that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we really connect, access, know, love, merge with, become whole with this part of us if we ain't willing to get in the mud with this part of us? You know what I'm saying? It's the same as love. We talk about love. It's either love or fear. So either you're fearing this thing or you're loving it. And so that's the reason why most of us in messed up relationships, not just with the opposite sex, but friends, family, all this, because we are choosing to accept a compromise due to the fears that we have. But we know that to get to the love that we desire, we actually have to go to a place of true. We can't fear the process. That's what I'm looking for. We can't fear the process. You see what I'm saying?
I see. I got something to add on. So like, through me learning my clairvoyant abilities, being able to see energy and things like that, and see different entities and things like that, I've noticed mine's lean more towards seeing things in things, right? So I may catch myself just staring at the grass, like a field of grass, but then a face may begin to merge in the shape of the grass, right? So I've been put onto a technique that is kind of a form of channel writing. But what you do is, and I used to do this all the time when I was a child, which is funny. So now it's coming back around full circle, and now I'm understanding what I was doing. But just scribbling on a piece of paper, you know what I'm saying? Close your eyes and just scribble on the piece of paper, scribble. So even in like therapy sessions in these shrinks, they'll use these pictures of these blobs of ink, and then they'll tell who their client to, what do you see? You know what I'm saying? And based off of their physical state, their emotional state, and their mental state, they'll perceive this certain image, right? So sometimes if someone is in a high vibrational state, they may perceive an apple as this blob of ink. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's in a low vibrational state, they might see an actual demon looking at them or something. So through taking a pen and writing, scribbling on a piece of paper, and then looking at it, the first thing you see, begin to trace it out. And whatever shape or image or picture that you come up with, you can actually get a reading of your internal energy signature and be able to know how to take the necessary precautions to begin to alchemize that energy. You dig what I'm saying? So also I kind of, like I told you behind the scenes, I wrote a letter. It was kind of to self, but it's
just gonna ask you. I was like, bro, do that letter, bro.
Yeah,
it's deep, so we here.
So I had a letter that I wrote to self, but it's also kind of like a collective letter. So it's I'm gonna just say wholeness, collective consciousness. How are you vibrating? May you know you've always been loved, even though we haven't talked to you in some time on an intentional level like this. We see you, you see you, and we all see you, even if sometimes those closest to you doesn't. You're so hard on yourself, and we're here to help alleviate the strain. We can only do so much for you, as you are your own medium between your unique reality and the cosmos. We feel the anvil of anxious uncertainty on your heart. We feel the way you overthink on the most limitless scale. But through all of that, we feel your love for selflessly, and your drive to become whole. Understand, and most intrinsically understand, that when seeds get planted low, they have no choice but to grow. Go look at ourselves in a reflection and ground your growth and embody it. You control your reality by submitting that control to source. I say. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we gotta talk more about that.
Not for sure.
Yeah, that was very, very powerful. So, family, podcast, not podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying it, because I love it. That was an example right there. He gave an example, a clear example, in real time. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody that felt like, man, I don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're talking about. And that was just one form.
Exactly.
Of it. But it was so like, and imagine, family, that when Kai's having a day where he's not vibing too hot, and he go back and read that, what that's going to do to him. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that was very powerful, bro. Appreciate you for sharing that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Part of my purpose, so I got a purpose on it. You know what I'm saying?
I say, yeah, that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So part of my notes, is actually that, writing letters are also cheat codes. You know what I'm saying? And so it's deep, that he just broke that down like that, and just shows y'all, how it's a cheat code. But so let's go on. I got many perspectives on this, you know what I'm saying, tonight. So let's go into another perspective of how it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code for not letting us go around telling all our business. So what is he talking about? Like, what is bro talking about? Well, if you get comfortable with writing letters to self, and you know that you actually can trust self more than 90% of these people, then it won't be second nature to call old girl or call the homie, or call this person, or call whatever to gossip about your life.
Right.
You actually be able to write your life out. And during this time of writing, because with the whole thing you're looking for is an understanding, clarity, or you want to vent. One of those three things. By writing, you'll get all three.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So the power of writing as well, it cancels out drama, family. It cancels out you having to throw yourself under the rug and become somebody's word of the day. You know what I'm saying?
And what's deep about that is, again, for the people who do struggle with writing to themselves, like I said, ask those questions like how I was asking myself those questions. You dig what I'm saying? This allows you to feel like you're in that same scenario with talking to somebody or spreading the gossip with somebody. You dig what I'm saying? So if you are looking at it from that perspective, even if you do want to tell it to somebody, if you look at it from that perspective and ask these questions to yourself, hey, why do you feel like this? And then you go on a little venting session. I feel like this because this person made me feel this way. Well, then act like you're talking to that person that made you feel this way and begin to cycle and circumvent the situation and alchemize it. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, like that aspect of you gauging questions and asking these questions, it stimulates the mind so that you can actually begin to have a more broader form of self-expression, especially through writing. You dig? So again, so you ain't out there telling your business, write it down. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself these business questions or gossip questions. See what you come up with.
No, facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Because truthfully, see, this is the thing, right? We got to be real with ourselves. And if you're not being real with yourself, then you're playing yourself. So you might as well have a letter, write this letter, go and be real to yourself, go and tell yourself them things that you really don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't want nobody else to tell you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't got to be mad at your homegirl, your best friend, your mama, because they had to tell you and let you know what it was when you already knew what it was. They might not even say it in the most holistic fashion. So at least you know that even when I correct myself and I have to chastise myself, I understand what the heart space is. So I understand how to still do this from a place of love. You see what I'm saying?
Surely, and it gets practice. You dig what I'm saying? It's like writing down a song and rapping it. You know what I'm saying? Then you can actually, when you encounter this situation in a physical manner, you already have the blueprints out and how to proact because you've been going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Going through the levels of being triggered and not being triggered, and you know what I'm saying? Operating from your higher self or operating from the ego. You know, so.
You know, also this helps you. You know, for those family members, a lot of people say, well, dang, how am I going to find healing or without talking to this certain person? How am I going to, you know, be able to, you know, really release and really, you know, get rid of, you know, this feeling? Some people feel like they got to face that person. They got to really let them know. And you don't. You could write them a letter.
That was a tough pill for me to swallow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean? I don't gotta. I feel like I gotta say this to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was me coming from a hurt place because I wanted to make them hurt because they made me hurt or I was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's a very, very toxic trait to have. So just being aware of that and then being able to release it, you're able to let go of wanting to say it to somebody's face, and now you're.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Somebody's locked up, right? What do you have? No, if you love them, you gotta. It's your people. What do you gotta do? You gotta write them, right?
Yeah.
That's the way you can talk to them, right? You have to look at this from a holistic aspect. You have to look at it from a metaphorical aspect too in this game of life. Technically, these people that hurt us and we can't have them sit downs and have them real conversations with them, that part that we're trying to access is in jail. It's locked up. That part of them is incarcerated. That part of them is in a cage. So the only way we can communicate, we have to understand the ways of communicate. This person only going to listen to themselves. This is the deep part about writing someone a letter. Even though they're listening to your words, they're listening to themselves say it.
I was about to say, yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's almost a trick
It's a
but it's a
paradox.
beneficial, exactly.
This is what I was talking about. How Source has these universal laws scaled down to such a minute situation is crazy. It's crazy. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, like that paradox, man. Like everything that's been a, like I said, I've been telling people that's been a collective download for everybody, is that we're becoming more aware of how much we create our reality, and we're becoming more aware of how much our internal underworld or shadow self is being projected in our reality when we're not taking the time to reflect light on it and put it in a state of harmony. So again, like literally every state of what we're all experiencing right now, we're becoming more aware of how everything is an aspect of what we are not healing, what we are healing, and what is already healed.
Exactly. That being said, let's get it. Let's tap in.
Peace, family. So I want to send a quick message out to the tribe. I know that there may be a lot of people depending on you, and you take this role very serious. But I want to make sure that you understand that nobody is depending on you more than you. Ashe.
Ashe, I gotta download straight off the ripper from that, right? Look, we got 150 trillion. It's said that we are comprised of about 150 trillion cells inside of the human body, right? Each one of these cells make up a smaller or miniature version of you, right? These cells communicate to each other all the time. So imagine all these little subatomic particles, atoms, quarks, solitons, protons, and they're communicating with each other, right? What you think they're talking about? Man, is we all gonna collectively as a body called Kai or called At Khalil gonna understand that we gotta save me? So we do, in a sense, have to look for a savior, but that savior is again within ourselves, because what we have to go save is our anointed cells that are becoming more conscious, communicating with each other more on a more transparent basis, and actually becoming more receptive to the energy that's coming in. You dig what I'm saying? So
it's like that's same happen with AI, and AI is just knocking
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that savior literally is you. You know what I'm saying? You have to go save those miniature versions of you on a quantum scale.
Wow. Once again, like we said at the beginning of the episode, we're talking about letters, but we're talking about communication. And true communication, divine communication, comes through opening these channels.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So let's see. Let's tap in on this, right? So, and this is something that I haven't even started to practice. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But this is something I'm about to start to practice. And so, matter of fact, no, we're not. We're gonna end the episode with that. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that. My fault. We're gonna go here first. So, say, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, we talked about all the go, but in a different, I want to be even more detailed with it. So say you get into it with somebody at the store, right? You go to the store, you get into it with them, whatever, you hot. Go home and write it out. Don't hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to the energy. Don't have it worth lingering on you a week later. And you still like, and then, or the next day, now you mad, and now 3 days in a row, 3 different situations that happen, and you holding on to, then you snapped on one of your children.
That's why we make music.
Facts. You know, that's facts. You know, so practice this every day. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm gonna go and say what I was gonna say. You know, start your day off with writing a letter of gratitude, and end your day with a letter of gratitude. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, so starting off with gratitude is automatic, you know, while you're having gratitude, and that's where you can actually speak life into your day as well. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you have gratitude, and this is an opportunity for you to reflect and be grateful for real for the things that actually happened, even if it was the worst day ever to you. Before you actually, now you got to reflect on all the great things that did happen, though, and have gratitude. And so that is a powerful form of communication to our cells, as Kyle's talking about. But I'm saying from an aspect of our manifestations. This is how we
Yes.
unlock and unblock, you know, things that are blocking the things that are not manifesting in our life the way that we desire them to be, whether it's love, peace, money, whatever.
And also just to make that more stronger and also be transparent, because this is something that I've been having in the back of my mind but have yet to start doing, that I am going to start doing, that I am doing right now. We manifesting it, but through that same process that King just explained, and starting your day with gratitude and ending your day with gratitude, but on the aspect of ending your day, when you end your day with gratitude, retrace your whole day. You know what I'm saying? So from start to you waking up, from what you did throughout the day, and you know what I'm saying, up until the point where you're writing at the end of your day, retrace all of these things, because there's messages in it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we find times where we forget what we did the previous day or the day before that, or something that we just did that same day. It's because we're not grounding the energy. We just moving through it. We're moving through it. You know what I'm saying? Not really understanding the process and the entirety of that energy as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So we understand it individually as in a third dimensional sense when we're experiencing it in separateness and duality. But when we bring it back in omniscience and the close of our day, we understand the construct of that whole reality of that one day. You dig what I'm saying? So by retracing your whole day, you can ground and integrate a whole nother aspect of your consciousness, because that is in the past, but it's still the version of a now that you can, you know what I'm saying, get insight from.
And it also fights depression, fights anxiety, it fights all that BS.
Yes.
We create things, you know, based off of things happening, and our ego and a certain parts of ourselves play on us and intensify things like alcohol. And so we doing this is going to be very important and very valuable, because sometimes, you know, like I said it in my song, you know what I'm saying? I said about my mama, I was basically like, you know what I'm saying, we had some hard times, but somebody had it worse, you know, and that perspective is a beautiful perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely true, first and foremost. But also we got to understand, like, when you got breath flowing through your body, that alone is opportunity. And so you say opportunity for what? Everything.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And so that just having gratitude for that is having gratitude for what? For everything. So you are automatically moving in a holistic fashion, a holistic way. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us, so this is something I came across recently this week, and something I already knew, but it just was a reminder. Say you want to manifest something, a home, a car, a job. So I'm just talking on the layman's terms. You want to manifest this, and you're constantly thinking about it over and over. Every day you're thinking about it in the sense of like, I gotta have this. You're actually blocking the energy by doing that from happening, because that energy is too aggressive for the universe to actually, it's not in a flow. See what I'm saying? It's not nature. It's not natural. It's tight. It's like when somebody get into a car wreck and they get whiplash. It's tight. It's tense. You see what I'm saying? We gotta relax. You feel me? We have to get to, and that's what this is going to do. Whenever we're writing it out, it helps us to show gratitude and to be in a more relaxed place, not waking up every day like, damn, this last week just been hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's an interesting perspective, because like when I look at, obviously we don't scream our manifestations, you know what I'm saying, but sometimes I feel as though, just me personally, we do have to command certain aspects of our manifestations in a harmonized way, not a demanding way, but you know what I'm saying, letting source know that you're ready for that manifestation. Like, for example, like in superhero movies where Shazam, you know what I'm saying, like he has to command that power in. You dig what I'm saying? Or
interpret it though. What I'm talking, because obviously you know I'm a commander for sure. But
right.
What happens after you command it? After we command it, we try to force it.
Right, exactly.
After you command it, put it in the work and do the work and expect it. Exactly. So not the commanding part. We gotta take it. You know, that's our dominion. So we gotta tap into that. Sure. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying, not for sure.
For sure.
And some people don't have to take that approach.
No, fact.
You know,
they just think it. You know what I'm saying? They be on that Professor Xavier, like.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I want to tap into this really quick. So like we talked about earlier about telling people your business and gossiping, but let's talk about it from a manifesting aspect. So don't go around telling people your plans. You know what I'm saying? Write letters to your wealth, write letters to your success, write letters to the peace that you desire. You know, write letters to the so-called future you, and understand that the future is now. And so, like, instead of going, like I said, telling everybody your business, actually write your letters. And so now you can go back and reflect. The same way we're talking about reflecting on these certain days and reflecting on gratitude. You may have a day when you're uninspired. And you just feel like, now you got a letter. You got letters of inspiration. You see what I'm saying? You may get an opportunity, you know, and manifest and get close to manifesting one of these things that you're trying to manifest, and you're missing certain details as you're moving. You got life in this. Guess what? You got it right here. You know what I'm saying? So also, now that you got all those letters, you can do so many rituals. I mean, with your crystals, with it's just so much you could do. Resting with it, the water manifestation. There's so many rituals you can do because now it's wrote on paper. You see what I'm saying? So you can do so much. You can channel that energy off that paper into reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people make vision boards. It's the same difference, except you're doing this for all these aspects in your life of the things you desire. Make a vision board for, you know, if you are a wife or you are a husband and you desire, make a vision board for that person. For what you desire, you know what I'm saying?
No, I just heard repetition breaks conditions when you're changing your vision. Repetition.
You gotta write that down.
Yeah, repetition breaks conditions when you're changing your vision.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta write that down.
Yeah, I gotta download.
So you got download?
Yeah, hold on. All right. Yeah. So the repetition, right? Doing things in a repetition, like we just said, breaks the conditions of certain things that you've been in a ritual of doing. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're looking to start something new, well, first it starts in the mental plane, so in the mind, right? And then from the mental plane, you integrate the feeling, the emotion, you know, the emotional plane, right? Mm-hmm. So that will also talk to things like the ancestral plane and things like that. And then you begin to magnetize information about this thought, right? So this comes through the body or the physical environment, and it also comes by way of downloads, you know what I'm saying? So the spiritual realm. So breaking repetitions starts with having a thought and being able to ground that thought with, you know what I'm saying, that kinesthetic feeling of writing. So I wanted to tap into the story from the scientist, right? There was a scientist conducting a study of how writing affects the brain. And then the scientist had to take scans of the volunteers' writing. He had them copy an excerpt, a basic excerpt, right? So he had these students, they were volunteering to basically get a brain reading of how they write. So as he was measuring their brain activity, from their first baseline reading, he had them create a story after that. And once they was creating a story after that, the scientists noticed that certain aspects of the brain or certain parts of the brain became more active than the others. So one parts of the brain that the scientists knew that became more active was the occipital lobe of the brain, which deals with like depth perception and visuospatial processing. So being able to see something and feel it in your environment and process what it is. So basically how I was saying, when I touch something and I'm able to understand more about it, the back, this occipital part of your brain, the back of your brain also deals with color determination, object and face recognition, and also memory formation. So you know how that one episode we was talking about reflections, and when you see something, you actually see it in the back of your brain and it's upside down and turned around. You dig what I'm saying? So this part of the brain became more active in the volunteers, which means that part of the brain was activated to allow them to be more spiritually connected and seeing everything in their mind as they wrote it. So when they actually began to create the story, the hippocampus in the front of the brain became more active, which means that these regions of the brain were gathering factual information to include in the story and sorting through different characters and plot lines that was available to the volunteers. So if you're having these visions in your mind as you're writing and you're pulling actual factual information from it, but you're perceiving them as stories, where is this information coming from? Where's these feelings coming from? You dig what I'm saying? So being able to create these, like me, when I process and I overthink, right? The way I tend to process my overthinking is by utilizing these overthinking traits in various different alternative realities. And I'm seeing which reality is what. So I'm pulling facts that resonate by way of energy from these actual realities to actually gain more perspective about what I'm writing. Hence what I did with this channel writing. You know what I'm saying? In this channel writing, you will see more of the character words or the nouns was more we instead of I or me. So pulling from that omniscient aspect of self to really bring a sense of self-confidence and reassurance that I got me or we got me. You dig what I'm saying? And then there's also this part of the brain. So for all my anime heads, you know what I'm saying? There's also this part of the brain called the Cogit nucleus, or it's also called the striatum. It's a C-shaped structure which lies deep inside of the brain near the thalamus, and it plays a very, very vital role in a lot of autonomic neurological functions. So things that you naturally do without having to physically put in action to do it. This part of the brain also integrates spatial information with motor behavior formulation. So again, when you're perceiving your environment, you're also interpreting the energy by certain behaviors of what is also going on in your environment. So this part of the brain allows you to be so aware to a ritualistic, repetitive point to where it allows your bodies and limbs, it allows your body and certain aspects of your limb to increase speed and accuracy of certain movements that they have. So again, for my anime heads, like I said, if y'all watch Naruto, you know how Sasuke and the Uchiha clan got the Sharingan, and they're able to track their movements and things like that. So we basically have the same thing, which is why we have this muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? So again, like how they try to say the brain is a muscle, it's a muscle, but actually this certain part of the brain called the Cogit nucleus is what makes it a muscle, which makes it have this muscle memory. So again, to shift a reality, if you're really trying to shift your reality, begin to create one and then ground it in your physical reality by writing it. And then you'll be able to pick up on the certain reflexes of what you was experiencing up here, down here. So when deja vu now, you know what I'm saying? Now you're getting deja vu, right place, right time, because you're creating these realities and pulling in this factual information that aligns you to your most infinite timeline. You can use this. Go ahead.
Download. So boom. So this is powerful because what you're doing, you got your crown, right? This is a projector of information. This projects out energy, right? So you got this right here. So you're going to you're in your crown, you're projecting, you're dealing with that, and then you gotta project somewhere. You gotta be intentional with this projection. So we're going to project to the heart space. The heart space actually pulls in. So you want to project to a receiver. So the heart space is a receiver. Now this is where the manifesting happens in the heart space. You see what I'm saying? But to actually bring that manifestation into this reality, you got to ground it. So now the heart space has to send that energy to the root. And sometimes our manifestation, and even what bro was explaining, it gets stuck because we don't complete that process and ground it. Yep, I say
exactly. Like I even went out to, we got this tree in the front yard. I just call it grandmama tree because that's just the vibe it gives. But I went up to it and hugged it today, and normally I don't talk, I just telepathically talk, but this time I wanted to physically talk, and it was such a actually felt more of that process that you feel when you exchange energy between trees, and how it actually allows you to ground certain aspects of your energy. So again, like even using forms of writing like that, like again, the touch, right? So people who can't see, they have to read within Braille, you know what I'm saying? So you can even go send a text message to a tree and actually have the tree read the message and interpret how you're actually feeling just by touching it, you know what I'm saying? And then you can actually gain insight on what to do in your physical reality. You may hear, a certain crystal, or you may hear a certain word or something that help you align and release certain aspects of that energy. And then the tree is also helping you do that as well, just by touch, a form of physical, palpable, linguistic communication. You dig what I'm saying? Now we ain't even start talking about light language yet, because that's a whole, or speaking in tongues, because that's a whole different part, or a very cosmic aspect of you being able to have a form of writing to self, because that's pure divine inspiration and insight coming in. That's pure cosmic ashe coming in. You dig what I'm saying? So I can't hear you.
I said, so you just gonna stop random after saying all that? So
Hey, I did. Hey, that wasn't me. That was the weed that turned it off.
Kind of turned out. No, for
Yep.
sure. Nah, man. Dang, what was I finna say?
I like that I just said that though, because now people know, like, when I stop, it really don't be me. It just be the channel. Just they turn the channel off, like.
Oh, for sure. Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. You had said something. But I was listening so intense, I thought you was gonna keep going and you stopped. Dang, I was thinking about something. It is what it is. But yeah, this subject has definitely been, an amazing. It was even amazing for me just to tap in on it in my own world, and just, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, during the process, I was creating different things, that I'm gonna be practicing in my own life, So yeah, family, y'all don't forget, you know what I'm saying? Start your day off with gratitude, write letters to yourself in the day of gratitude, and end your day, with that same thing. And, I would say tap in with the emerald tablets, throw the Atlantean. The reason why is because we're not gonna go too far on this. But yeah, but throw, Tahuti actually, was a scriber, one of the first scribers. And so understanding the power of scribing and of writing these things down and channeling, you will be able to see the power of that, by tapping into Thoth, for sure.
I also want to just add a technique for everybody, right? So we watch wizard movies and Harry Potters, and you know what I'm saying, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and whatever the case may be, and they're using wands, right? When they're doing this, they're casting a spell, right? It seems like they just doing this, they just doing some random shit. But if you actually pay attention, they're actually, you know what I'm saying, making shapes, or they're making certain structures or certain sigils in the air. You dig what I'm saying? Right. And then creating a portal for that energy to actually integrate into that space, and then they can project it through their medium called an avatar, right? So you can do the same thing with your finger. You know what I'm saying? Utilize your mind's eye. When you're able to, if you're able to just keep your eyes wide open and see, like right now, I can see an energy ball just in my mind's eye, not physically, but I can see an energy ball clear as day in my mind's eye. You can utilize this same aspect of imagination and put a little, you know what I'm saying, ball of light on your finger, right? And imagine that this ball of light is like a piece of chalk, right? And you write in the air a specific letter, or a specific word like love, right? And then walk into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know all of us, we used to do this when we was younger. We spread a cologne in the air and then we walk into it. Spread a cologne, walk into it. So that's the same thing. You're spraying the energy signature in the air, and then you're walking into it to embed it within your electromagnetic field to actually integrate that word and all its aspects that it has in duality and just omniscience. You dig what I'm saying? So that's another technique for y'all to actually begin to release. So if you want to open up more, right out in the air, open up. and then allow that to enter into your avatar. You know what I'm saying? You may not think much of it, or you may not feel nothing right there in that moment, but that doesn't matter because you took the initiative to bring that energy in. So it may not come in on full jet stream. It may start coming in drops. You may be more open in certain areas of your life. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll find yourself being more open publicly. You know what I'm saying? Now you're just expressing. So that's definitely another technique for y'all, man.
And so, I'm making sure that it posts, but I just, I just dropped the Emerald Tablets and Shadowwork Sundays, family, the PDF. So y'all go tap in on that. You know what I mean? We talked about starting the book club and still haven't, so we're gonna get to that as well at some point. You know what I'm saying? And then the tribe says it's on YouTube as well. Audio books, you know what I'm saying, for you to listen to as well.
I'm gonna tell y'all, man, if y'all do the audio book, y'all gonna have a ball because it's gonna be like, it's like you talking to Tahuti himself. Like there's times where I'm like, this is making me teary-eyed because this shit like, bro, there's times where I listen to the audio book and I'm legit having like, I'm talking about, you read the Emerald Tablets, y'all read the Emerald Tablets. Some of that information in there is like peak.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there talking to like it's just basic common knowledge within this hypnagogic state. You dig what I'm saying? So if y'all do tap into the Emerald Tablets, definitely listen to it while y'all sleep, man, because it's a whole different experience.
I say,
Definitely,
man. My brother, man.
And definitely.
You know, so y'all know the Vibes family is working on a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to speak on the manifestations like we just talked about a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's some big things happening behind the scenes. We're working on some things, and y'all make sure that y'all, if you're not tapped in on Telegram, go tap in. Shadowwork Sundays 555. Also, if there are certain subjects, Shadowwork subjects, you know what I'm saying, certain specific things that y'all are going through that y'all want us to speak on, start to drop those type of subjects in the chat, in the Telegram. You know what I'm saying? And I would say just be like a little organized with it. So whenever you drop it in there.
Drake King.
Yeah, that's my
Facebook
brother,
comment.
Yeah. Peace. You know what I'm saying? So when you do it, be intentional with it and put at the top of it, like, you know, Shadowwork Sundays episode title. So that way I can, you know, look at it different and be able to know what it is.
Get it in. Get them. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need any Shadowwork topics, get it in because we going the frequency gonna shift. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's gonna shift.
I got a few more seasons.
No, for sure.
That's what we can tell y'all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all have any questions right now in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can definitely drop them down below for surely. And much gratitude to everybody that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Getting through and thugging through this retrograde, you know what I'm saying? Staying 9 toes, 10 toes, whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? And just being true to self for surely.
I'll say, you know, always much gratitude to the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Also, if y'all need consultations, we are, you know what I'm saying, available. So y'all go, you know, go check our bios out. You know what I'm saying? Or Kase the Bink and the Layo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go tap in with us. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need any one-on-one, as far as, obviously we tap in on here, but as far as on the phone, our inboxes is always open. You know what I'm saying? So you can inbox all day. We can top it up, whatever. But if you want to get on a phone call, you can tap in with us.
No, for surely, man. For sure.
Right. So we finna rock out then. And also, if you say you see somebody online and you like, man, I would love to see them on Shadowwork Sundays. Send them over. You know, special guests. I don't care how big or small they are in the sense of what the social media says. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. You know, so send them over. And if you have somebody that you really resonate with and you would love, you know, to see them on the show, we are definitely tapping in with special guests on many levels.
Yes, man, definitely.
You know, so peace, love, light, wholeness, you know what I'm saying? Big energy, peace, abundance, prosperity.
Tranquility, serenity, charisma, all of that, man. He pulled a me.
Nah, for real. For sure.
Hey, no.
That's how I feel it, you know what I'm saying? So
That's it.
peace.
Holding his tribe.
Candlelight in the rising and I feel amazing. Preparation for an early meditation. No procrastination, only elevation. I'm working with a power that can heal a nation. How you vibrating? How you vibrating? How you vibrating? How you vibrating? Vibes on serious, on vortex like a pyramid. A reflection make the mirror flip. Mercury is my inner king. Manifest. How you vibrating? Big energy. How you vibrating? I travel to other dimensions with all senses. Manifestation, the power of alchemized intentions. Telepathically speaking,